Ooh, woke up and the Twitter was a buzzing. I just found out as I woke up. If y'all don't know, we're gonna talk about it. Good morning. Morning cup of dough. Started off, get my mind right with some water. Apparently some crazy stuff was happening last night if you guys haven't heard. We'll get all into it. Donation in here. What up? Donation is in here. Give everybody about 5 minutes to join up in here. YouTube, please smash that like button. Hold on 1 second. Let me pin this on cup of dough. Show. All right, give me a second. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about Dave Chappelle. I just found out about it. Hold on 1 second. Well, I'm not laughing at it, but okay. Okay. Just give me a few minutes to kind of absorb the information. Hold on 1 second. Oops, I didn't mean to do it twice. Okay. You didn't hear? All right, don't worry. Big brother Doughboy got you. You ain't got to go to Twitter or nothing. I got you. It's the morning show. Sorry if I look sleepy. I just woke up. I'm not used to getting up this early in the morning, but we here. Let everybody else get in here. Okay. Give everybody about 4 more minutes. How's everybody feeling today? Tell me something positive. Tell me what you finna do today that you're excited about. I'm excited because I'm shooting some content today with the homies over at All Def, you know. So I'm excited about that. Got a couple of other meetings and different things going on. So what's up? All right, we getting people in here. We got about 20 people over here. We got about 17 over here. We finna get started. We finna be talking to about 8 o'clock-ish in the morning. Okay. So, let's see. Apparently, there was an incident last night at the Hollywood Bowl. This story got crazier and crazier. Like the details that I got on it, they were pretty interesting, but they're involving Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest comedians of our time. So apparently, what ended up happening was he was doing. Well, first off, let's talk about this Netflix is a Joke festival. Netflix is a Joke is having a festival where basically they've been in LA like all week and everybody's been having showcases. For whatever reason, I think Netflix lost my number because I haven't been invited to any of the stages, but that's neither here nor there. We just gonna praise God for the stages I do get called on, and one day the promotion will be there to Netflix, but we just gonna focus on the work. So it was at the Netflix It's a Joke festival, and apparently he was on stage. Okay, actually I can play. No, I can just tell you guys. So he was on stage. Dave Chappelle is on stage. Somebody from the audience, an audience goer, rushes the stage and tackles him. No joke, no funny stuff. They tackle him, right? Then apparently there's a scuffle between him and the man. And Jamie Foxx apparently comes to the rescue. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. Anybody who knows me knows Jamie Foxx is my favorite comedian, favorite entertainer of all time. He's the reason why I even got into comedy. But he jumped in, and apparently the rest of Dave's crew jumped in, and they took him backstage and apparently washed him up, beat him up. But apparently they said the man had a gun and a knife. This is scary. And that's Dave Chappelle. That's, and as much as it can be funny now and there can be jokes made about it now because, obviously nobody got hurt. So it's cool. but that's scary. People running up on stage to physically harm comedians is scary. I'm a stand-up comedian now, mind you. I'm not on stages as big as Dave Chappelle, Dave Chappelle by any call, but still, um, that's a fear that you would have as a comic to know that you're doing your job and you can get physically attacked by a stranger. This was last night. This was yesterday. It's all over the news. Then, fun fact, apparently Chris Rock came out right after this happened. And he's talking to Dave Chappelle, and like the true comedian he is, he was like, "Was that Will Smith?" Talking about the guy that attacked Dave Chappelle. Apparently, everybody had a good laugh. So I want to break this down and kind of dissect this. Um, and then even Dave Chappelle said it was a trans man. So he like it was a joke. It was a lot of jokes to be made afterwards, but I want to kind of just break this down for a little bit and just where are we at in society that I think that with stand up comedy is such a niche thing. You know what I mean? Like I had never really been to a comedy club, before I started doing comedy. You see what I'm saying? Like I never was just like, I'm gonna go. What? Oh, what the hell? That scared the hell out of me, bro. Ooh. Nigga, hold on. I had another window open. It was because I was on TMZ, and I guess it just triggered and started playing something, and it was Cardi B. We're gonna talk about Cardi B later. Um, but the culture of a comedy club, or at least from what I understand it to be, and now that I have been in comedy for a while, comedy clubs are supposed to be like a safe space, almost kind of like how movie theaters used to be. You know what I mean? Until dangerous stuff started happening at movie theaters, like you're supposed to be able to go, kind of escape your reality and just kind of listen to comedians give you their point of view. I don't know when it changed and people started feeling like it was cool to, for one, get mad at jokes. Now I don't know why this person attacked him. What up? What up? I don't know why. I don't They haven't released so I don't know if it was part of his set and the person didn't like a joke or if this was a premeditated thing. My biggest thing was, how did this person get on stage? With a blicky and a blade? Oh no. Like, and I'm just sitting there looking at it like, damn, that could have really went bad. Thank God that it didn't. And apparently they beat the brakes off, bruh. They gave him some nasty work. Apparently they sophisticated him, you know, mixed him up. They put him in a blender. But it just kind of, is that where we're going with stand-up comedy? You see what I'm saying? I remember there was a situation, shout out DC Young Fly. He had got somebody attacked him on stage in the Bay, and but he sidestepped and boo bopped. You know what I'm saying? And got dude up out of there. So I hope that this isn't starting to be a thing in the culture where people feel like it's cool to attack comedians on stage. And how you gonna attack the GOAT? How you gonna attack the GOAT? How are you gonna attack Dave Chappelle? I'm Rick James, bitch. Like one of the greatest and get close enough to tackle the man. And then Dave Chappelle made a joke and said, when you find yourself in trouble, Jamie Foxx shows up like a sheriff. Jamie Foxx is with all the festivities. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just don't know. I mean, at this point, I think it's gonna. I mean, because this is coming, what, a month after the Chris Rock incident, and even though with Chris Rock, like maybe that does stress the question, like, are they going to start having to have security people in front of the stage? Because this is getting spooky. Dude actually was able. You got to break that down in your mind. This dude was able to not only get into the venue with a burner and a blade. Now that's just scary. You know what I'm saying? But when you usually go to comedy clubs, they're not sitting there patting you down and having you know a metal detector because people aren't usually going here to fight and shoot shit up. So that's not normally. I've never been to a comedy club when they search you for a gun. So but this is a big festival though. You see what I'm saying? And so dude gets in there. So you just gotta break it down. So the guy gets in there with a blade and a gun. That's scary within itself. You see what I'm saying? And we in LA, right? And he somehow, as a spectator, I'm assuming he's not staff or had special access to get backstage. He somehow finagles his way to get on stage and wait for the perfect moment to come out of nowhere, tackle a guy, and kind of, tackle Dave Chappelle and fight him. But he had a gun and a knife on him. So I'm assuming if he had a gun, and a knife on him, and he doesn't use those, then maybe that wasn't. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted. Maybe this was a clout move. Maybe this was just. But that's That's not very encouraging for comedians. So I don't know. For some reason, I just think because I think even after the because see now you got comedians thinking about this on two different spectrums because you could break down both situations and then find out how as a comedian you could be scared to get on stage. Okay, so for one, as a comedian, let's just take the Chris Rock situation. You could say a joke, tell a joke, somebody could get offended, like Will Smith, come up and try to do you physical harm. You see what I'm saying? Like you see, like there was no space, there was nothing but space and opportunity between Will Smith and Chris Rock. So the words that he said about somebody in the venue got him attacked. So that's one thing to be afraid of as a comedian. And then the second thing to be a comedian, to be afraid of as a comedian is just like the random people with, screws loose. You know what I mean? And just have some agenda. We don't know what this person's agenda is. I'm pretty sure more details will come out, today, and we'll hear more. But damn, nobody want to be get attacked by somebody who's just. And then they got guns and knife on them. Like, come on, y'all messing up the comedy space. We're supposed to be here to have fun. You can't be attacking the people that's here for the jokes. YouTube, smash that like button for your boy. Got the humble 20 of us in here, but hey, we in here. We on our way to work. We living our life. So yeah, I don't like the precedent that this sets. I don't like the tone of it. I don't like the vibe of it. Um, I don't. I don't think it's a good look at all. And I hope that we don't start having a bunch of copycat because if we do start having a bunch of copycat situations, I mean, I think that could potentially change the entire vibe of comedy. Think about that. If this starts to become an issue now, and we just seen this happen on a very high scale. This is Dave. It ain't really no higher than Dave. Ain't no higher than Dave. Ain't no higher than the Oscars. Is this an attack on comedy? Stand up comedy as a whole? What up? Somebody said I'm blessed to still have a full head of hair. You gosh darn right. Praise God. So yeah, I don't. For those of you just joining the chat, we're talking about we're talking about Dave Chappelle getting attacked last night on stage at the Hollywood Bowl um, by a man who had a gun and a knife on him. There was a physical altercation, and then Dave Chappelle and his boys got busy, and including Jamie Smith, who was all in the mix of the scuffle. Yeah, I don't know why they did it. Like, I don't know why this person would do this. I don't know why a person would come to a comedy club to tackle a comedian. It's just somebody said comedians gonna have to start carrying that thing on them when they perform. I just think that it changes the whole dynamic of what this is. Think about that. Like stand-up comedy is the only form of entertainment that is like that, where you go there and you just go in and sit down and like there's not a lot of space in between, but there's not a lot of space and time. You see what I'm saying? And you already don't search people for weapons when they're in a place and different things like that. Shit, this is scary. And I just feel like we got to check this. Have I ever been attacked when performing? No. But I've seen some people get attacked. I've seen some people like, get into physical altercations with different people. Somebody says beef up security. Okay, what are we talking about here? If somebody says beef up security, the two situations that we're talking about with comedians getting attacked. Will Smith, I mean Chris Rock at the Oscars, Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl. I don't think there's security above those places. Or is it that they just never thought that they needed to have security in the first place? And that could be ignorant. I just wonder what Dave Chappelle thought when the guy was running up there. Like, I think that's just got to be the thing. Like total shock. Like, oh, this is really happening. And then I feel like then the nigga, then your just fight or flight instincts kick in. You know what I'm saying? And then Jamie springs to action. But you got to think about that. These are $1 million entertainers. They shouldn't be on stage beating somebody up. And then what if the guy starts getting beat up and he pulls the blam out, and then this could go totally left. So I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel like that. Somebody said, hold on once again. Exactly. They have more security at concerts than comedy shows because it's not normally a situation where people need security at a comedy club. You're going there to laugh. And now it's becoming a place of violence at the workplace. I know comedians all across the country got to be looking at this like, man, what is this? Because it's not like you're worried about it on the highest of high levels. Like sometimes as comedians, we performing at hole in the wall spots, bars, like it ain't no fucking security, bruh. And now you know that people can attack you. Shout out to the donation. We got about 40 people in the YouTube, about 44 in the Instagram. That's close to 100 people. Praise God. Hope y'all on your way to work or whatever you might be doing today. I hope it's going good for you. Somebody said that didn't this happen to DC on Fly not too long ago? Yeah, last year. But DC ain't DC for the west side of Atlanta. You understand me? We hit that side of that. Ooh. So he handled that. But I think that this sets a bad precedent. I don't know that there's any. I mean, I guess the best thing about it is nobody got hurt except for the guy that did it. Apparently they. But then even imagine that. Imagine being at. I mean, like we got to just look at this from every different aspect. Think of it from Dave's point of view first. Like I'm just up here telling my jokes, about to get out of here. All of a sudden, a random nigga comes and rushes me and tackles me, and now we got to pack him out. You see what I'm saying? Okay, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is think of it from the audience's point of view. They're watching this from the crowd, and they're just like, "Wait, what?" They don't know because, I think when things happen like that and it's super fast, it's not that people aren't reacting because they don't want to diffuse the situation. They're probably just looking at it like, "Yo, what is this? What is this?" So I think that kind of puts everybody, and we just seen this a month ago with the Will Smith thing. So I don't know, man. I personally feel it's a bad look. It's another black eye for comedy, and this is if this continues, man. I just feel like this could start to shift how comedy is not only performed, how it's consumed. If and I feel like that's just so unfortunate because I feel like the comedy club was just such a safe haven of all the places. Like just think about it. You go anywhere, shit be popping off. You go to a nightclub, shit can happen. You go to a hookah lounge, shit can happen. Like it's always different places that you can go where things can go left. You see what I'm saying? And a comedy club for the most part just hasn't been one of them. So I don't know, man. I don't like it. Hold on one second. So how did he get a gun or knife in there? That's an even bigger question. How did that happen? Who knows? But I'm glad that everybody's okay. Like I said, shout out to Jamie Foxx. Now, this is another interesting thing too that I was talking about a couple seconds ago. Um, Chris Rock saying, "Yo, was that Will Smith?" referring to the guy who rushed the guy. So that's kind of like the first thing that we've heard Chris Rock say to kind of make this funny. This is going to start to make, because I remember when Chris Rock came out and he started, doing his first couple of shows after the thing happened. He really didn't address it. He was just like, "Oh, once I wrap my mind around it, I'll say something." And then him saying, "This is a joke," makes me think that maybe we're going to start to see some comedy from Chris Rock about the situation, which I believe would be the best way to handle it. Like if I was Chris Rock, I still sue. I'm sorry. Once you get to a certain level, you can't just go fighting everybody and beating everybody up. I wouldn't go and press charges on nobody, but if I was Chris Rock, yeah, I need 100 mil. I need 150 mil from Will, and I need 250 mil from the Oscars for not protecting. I'm just suing everybody. But it does look like maybe we're gonna get some jokes out of this. That could be dope. Somebody said, "Who named this?" I did. Morning cup of dough. Morning show. You understand? so so yeah. Well, shout out to everybody in that. Any other thoughts or concerns on the Dave Chappelle situation? Um, I don't know. I don't like it, but we'll see. And I'm pretty sure more facts will come out about it. We'll get more details about it, but for now, that's where we at. So shout out to Dave Chappelle. But I am glad more than anything that he's good, because hearing that situation and the circumstances around it, it could have went worse. Stay safe in this club, and that's what I definitely would say to all of my comedian comrades. Um, be alert when you're out there. Pay attention to what's going on, and should just be safe. And for the people that's doing this, man, like, well, I guess there's only two situations that are, well, to the people that's doing this, that's thinking that they want to attack comedians, just stop, man, because y'all gonna make it to where the comedy clubs don't even feel the same. And if it's got to be that at a comedy club, then people, because I do comedy shows, like it just be so many diverse audience. It'd be old white people, it'd be young black people, it'd be middle-aged Filipino. Everybody just goes, has fun, sit down, and this. Okay, there we go. That's the inherent problem that I have with this more, that I feel like they're ruining the comedy club vibe. Comedy is a place in a space that needs to be protected. Like just think about it. There's too many places that we go in the world where it's just like you can't feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You're watching shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like even driving your car, so much road rage and all of that. We gotta keep comedy cool from all that. Like, come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Come on. How do you contact me for affiliate or sponsorship opportunities? You can hit my email, Addy. I am Doughboy TV. IAMDOBOY TV at Gmail. Hit your boy. IAMDOBOY TV at Gmail. Okay. All right. So we've talked about our situation with Dave Chappelle. Let's move on to some sports, because y'all know we are in the NBA playoffs, and let's talk about some sports. Memphis beat the Golden State Warriors 106-101. But there's a lot going on in this series that already. So the series there is tied 1-1. But there's already some things going on in that series that I don't agree with. So let's break it down. So first of all, the first game was highly contested. It came down to a last-second shot that Ja Morant had missed. But the highlight of that game, or should I say the low light of that game, was Draymond Green super fouling a guy, like grabbed his jersey and could have hurt the guy, right? And I think that kind of set the tone for what was going on, because how he acted after that, he went, because they ejected him from the game after that, right? And then he like runs around. He's in Memphis. He runs around. He's trying to hype the crowd up like he was proud of what he did. When he did that, I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. Then, a day goes by, he goes on his podcast. He's like, yeah, man, that wasn't really no foul. And it's tripping. Da, 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 da. They hit me with a bad rep. So then they go back to game 2 yesterday. And Gary Payton's son got hit by somebody. This dude, his name was Dylan Brooks. So he got fouled by him, and it was so ugly because he fouled him in a way. This is the thing I don't like. Don't foul people in the air because people don't be knowing how to land. It was such an ugly. Oh, I hated seeing it. So he was up in the air. Dude hits his head, and so he knows he's about to fall down. So he tries to brace himself with his arms, but he put his arm down, breaks his elbow. Now that's just not cool. Steve Kerr was pissed about that. Like, yo, dude, you broke the code. That's, it was a dirty play. And then after that, Draymond Green caught an elbow to the face, which for all intents and purposes looked coincidental, but he broke an orbital bone in his face. So now that series is a little chippy. I feel like Memphis is already given Golden State all they can handle. So I feel like that might go 7 games, but I wish that they would stop with this hacking stuff because it sucks to see people get injured. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Joel Embiid got basically an elbow in the face after he made a good play. Now, I'm not gonna say it was intentional, but the timing of it was odd to be. You know what I mean? So he breaks a bone in his face. So now he's out for the first 2 games. Nigga, James Harden out there looking like meat on the court. So, and then now with the Memphis and the Golden State, now you got Gary Payton II, and now he's probably gonna be out for that series. He broke his damn elbow. So yeah, I love NBA playoff excitement. It's like none other, but I don't like seeing people get hurt. Side note, YouTube, come on now. We got 48 people in here. Smash that like button. Let's get that up to that 40. You understand? And thank y'all over here. We got 49 people over at Instagram. That makes me feel good that you guys are listening to me. You must have your little phone there on your way to work. I like it. Cool. So yeah. And then Boston on the other playoff game last night. That really wasn't even a game. They beat the dog, what, out of the Bucks. 109-86. I'm telling you, man, there's something about these Celtics that I don't want to say alarms me, but it definitely Boston looks good because they get after it. They play a lot of good defense. You see what I'm saying? And not only do they play a lot of good defense, they got some shooters, and they operate like a really well-oiled machine. So, shout out to them. I think both of those series are gonna go 7. So, we're gonna see. You say you smoking one while watching this. I'm out of Swishers and I'm so mad about it. I am so mad about it. I got no Swishers. Side note, before we move on, let's talk about that really quick. When did the hatred for Swisher Sweets happen? Because Swisher Sweets used to be the heavyweight champion of when people would smoke. Now, I don't know when everybody got so anti-Swisher Sweets, but it's utterly disgusting. Nobody wants to hear this. Like, we used to smoke these all the time. Everybody used to. Now you had a nigga some weed in a Swisher, they be like, they'll look at you like you handing them a pile of shit. Everybody wants to roll backwards. I don't know how to roll backwards. Like, what? I just don't know when the hatred began for Swisher Sweets. I need to be on some Justin Timberlake type of time. And I'm bringing Swishers back. Yeah. Them other raps don't know how to act. Yeah. No, nothing, guys. Just me. Okay. All right, we're about 30 minutes in. Somebody said Swishers fell off after the mid 2000s, 2010s. No, the grape switch. Come on now. Backwoods are kind of they're just. Somebody said after the Lil Wayne era. Nah, man. I'm still rocking with the Swishers. I'm an old school nigga. And plus, I don't know how to roll a backwood. They're the most annoying things to do in earth. Like, who wants to do that? Now, I will say, maybe you can do like a bong or something. But sometimes you hit the bong, that should hit your chest. It'll just be a little bit too much. That's all they ask for still is the swishers. Yeah, I think we gotta do a. I'm just so mad because I would definitely roll up with y'all right now. Ain't got no swishers. The reason why though, because I was gonna stop at the store and grab some yesterday, but I had a wisdom tooth pull. Side note, shout out to comedian CP. Shout out to him. He's doing so many great things in his career right now. So proud of that. So see, I was on Roast This the podcast yesterday with CP, Brandon Lewis, Billy Sorrells, and Ronnie Jordan. Shout out all my brothers. So I just randomly tell them yesterday, like, yeah, man, because we were doing the podcast, it was live. I was like, yeah, man, I got my wisdom tooth, pulled. When I tell you, the podcast was like for an hour and 10 minutes. They probably roasted my wisdom tooth for 30 minutes of that. Like, it became so funny. Make sure you guys go and watch the Roast This podcast on All Def. It's up there now. But niggas talked about mine, and they just kept jumping me the entire episode. I was like, okay, niggas. But there was some really, really funny stuff. But so no, I got my wisdom tooth pulled out yesterday. And when I got it pulled out, they were like, you can't smoke for 24 hours. So that's why I was just like, oh, okay, I can't smoke. So, you know what I mean? Somebody said, don't smoke. If you just had a wisdom tooth pulled, you'll get a dry socket. Really? Tell me more. Wow. What's a dry socket? Because they told me that, but you know how niggas don't be believing. They be like, oh, whatever, ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm so glad I was obedient. What's a dry socket? Somebody said, any advice on how to not take things so personally? I'd be mad if they roasted me for 30 minutes. No, because them is my friends, my niggas. It ain't like they saying nothing like hurtful and, they just talking shit. Billy was outside, so he was out of like the YouTube headquarters. He was like, we're inside of Doughboy's wisdom tooth. CP was he kept talking in the voice of my tooth. CP might be one of the most creative niggas I've ever been around. It was just like, okay, hold on. I want to hear about this. Okay, let's talk about this dry socket situation. Somebody said so much pain with a dry socket. Okay, y'all put me up on game because I did pretty good yesterday. All I did was eat soup. I had some crackers, but I chewed on the side of my mouth. I kept the gauze in there. They would have to scrape to allow the clot to form. Oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't smoke. Oh, because I be being hard-headed. The blood clot that should form after removal is dislodged or dissolved before the wound heals, exposing underlying bone. Oh, no. I'm so glad I didn't smoke. Whoo. Because see, they wasn't even telling me like that. They was just like, they gave me because look, let me tell you what they told me. They gave me the cold pack. They gave me the guys I had to keep putting under. But these were the rules that they told me. They said, continue to stay on the guys for 30, 60 minutes. I did that. They said, don't spit, rinse, suck using a straw. I didn't suck using a straw. Smoke, I didn't smoke. Drink carbonated, didn't drink carbonated. Alcohol, didn't do it for 24 hours. Passively empty your mouth when needed. The goal is to keep the blood clot in socket to prevent bleeding and a painful complication known as dry socket. Oh. Okay. Well, my first day has gone through. I did my thing. I probably just ain't gonna smoke for a couple days. Because now I'm afraid. Ain't doing that. Somebody came in here and said Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage and Netflix is a joke. Yeah, we talked about that for the first 25 minutes. We know. So yeah, so now I only have one wisdom tooth left. It's on here. But yeah, my procedure was pretty easy. It just took like maybe 30 minutes. Do you guys get put to sleep when you get your wisdom teeth pulled? They didn't put me to sleep. They just put the stuff on my gums. They shot me up. And it was just weird too because when you're getting pulled, like you can feel the pressure, but you don't really feel the pain. Somebody said wait at least 3 to 4 days. I'm gonna wait a week. I don't want nothing painful. Dry socket just sounds like it's not a good time. Hey, we got about 100 people in here on both platforms. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Okay. I want to talk to you guys about this situation and I want to get some honest opinions on it. All right. We're going to talk about it. They put you to sleep and took them all out at once. Yeah, they didn't put me to sleep at all. They just, and it was weird because I could like hear it. I'm like, hey, y'all gonna crack my tooth? Because you could just hear it. It was like, oh. I was just like, and all of a sudden, and he pulled it out. It was like, it was a big one. And like I was starting to get pain from it, but they said like, no, when this grows in, you're gonna be out of there. So so yeah, that's what happened. But I want to talk to you guys about an interesting situation that happened in Alabama. Okay. In Alabama, this happened about 6 days ago, and it's just funny to me. There is a woman named Vicki White. Okay. Vicki White was a decorated, well, is a decorated um, corrections officer who had been working for the Department of Corrections in Alabama in excess of 15 years. From what people say, she is, well, just I guess was it, but she didn't pass away. Okay. She was a like, a decorated officer, never got in trouble, all the good things. All the good things you can say about a worker. Okay, whatever. Now, as of last week, some things started to change. She randomly sells her house. I'm building this up for the climax. That's why I'm giving you all these details that might seem ridiculous. She sells her house. Mind you, the house is worth $250,000, so worth 250,000. She sells it for 95,000. Okay. She buys a random car, like just a car for like a couple thousand. It's a random car. She goes to her job. There is a prisoner in there named Casey White. Now, Casey White had been in prison for some years for a murder. Okay. And she takes him out of his cell and she tells the other authorities or the other, correctional officers, I got to take him to court for a mental health evaluation. Okay. Takes him in the car. That was the last time anybody seen them. They left. They got low. Apparently, they was looking at all the cameras and different stuff. They drove to a spot that didn't have any cameras, switched vehicles, and left. So apparently, she had been having a romantic relationship with this prisoner that was in jail for murder, and now they are on the run. What? We got to break this down. We got to break this down. So, and they're both white. Both white. Not that that matters, but just give you some context. We got to break it. I'm so glad you guys told me not to smoke because I was about to just be like, oh, let's smoke. I got some. They said that she was a day from retiring, and dude got in her head like, Miss Vicky, we could be together. I'm locking this Euros hotel. She said, say less, friend. I am Chris Rowland. Let's talk about this. One thing you have to know about prisoners. I've heard. I'll be fascinated with prison shows. A lot of times they say prisoners are some of the most. They're like some of the most um, manipulative people because they just have all day to just sit there and think about ways to manipulate people. Think about that. If you just were sitting down all day in a bathroom with a bed in it. They said nobody noticed they were even missing for 6 hours. So for 6 hours they had a head start, and she got 100,000 cash. So, okay, let's break it down from the beginning. what did he say to her to get her? First of all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she was a white woman, like, you know what I'm saying? She's fairly attractive. She wasn't like no ugly white woman, like, you know what I'm saying? She had a little bit of size on her, but she wasn't like just huge and whatever. Um, but she's pretty girl. So first off, I'm just like, how did he even get her to be on board with dating him? Because you can like get a felony for dating somebody. So apparently now more details are coming out. They've been dealing with each other for a couple years. Then what does a individual have to say to you to convince you, take all your money out of your accounts, sell your house? Because they probably got fake passports. They probably got, you know what I mean? Who knows? And to say, let's just put all of this behind us and go on the road and go on a run and do, not for nothing, and this is the part that I won't joke about because this part ain't funny. This nigga's was a convicted killer. Like, you sure you want to trust that? You sure he gonna be cool? Like, the nigga didn't kill somebody. Like, so now they're on the run. It's going on like a week, and everybody's looking for her. But I'm just like, she had a 6-hour head start on y'all. They probably knew exactly where they were going. They probably, you know what I'm saying? People are saying good D will do that to you. Really, ladies? Let's have that conversation to everybody. With some good sex, have you? I'm talking. Somebody said, what are we talking about? Well, we've talked about a couple of things. We talked about Dave Chappelle getting attacked on stage. We talked about what's going on in sports, the basketball games. Now we're talking about Vicki and Casey White. Vicki White is a correctional officer in the Alabama State of Corrections. Casey White, and they're not related. So let's get that clear. They're not related. She was a CO. He was a prisoner there for murder. And she broke the nigga out of prison. And now they're on the run. So the question that I'm posing to you is, if the sex is that good, would you risk it all? Because she is going, like, for one, she's risking a lot. She's risking a lot. Like, your whole life as you knew it will change. So even if the police catch them and arrest them, you let somebody, you broke somebody out of prison, a convicted murderer, and you went on a run. So if you get caught, you're gonna do some jail time, and you're not gonna do, decades, but you're going to go to prison. You're going to have an ugly smudge on your record where now you're not going to be able to work in that line of, of work anymore. So she's really given up a lot. And that's just saying that he don't go violent and be like, I'm going to kill this woman. So I don't know. Would I risk it all? Absolutely not. Like, no. No. I don't care how good the sex is. I don't care how much motherfucker love me. I'm not risking jail. Like, jail is just no. So I feel like she's taking a big risk. She's, but they're saying that they're both armed and dangerous. Maybe they're on some Bonnie and Clyde type shit. I just want to know. Somebody said, hold on, what? Did Mike Tyson impregnate a CO while he was in Rikers Island? I didn't know that. I mean, I do know that it's nothing new. COs do have romantic relationships with prisoners. I think man and woman. I think that does happen. But to risk your whole life to date somebody that's in jail for the rest of their life, she sold her house. Shit, that nigga must have tore that ass up. If you gonna risk it all, just say fuck life as I know it. This sex is too good. Everything else can go as long as the sex is still intact. And then somebody says she knows firsthand what jail is like. Yeah, you know what that feels like. Hold on, what somebody said? They said, by no means am I discounting good or great D, but I have more sense than this. But see, that makes me think too. Sometimes I think when you can penetrate somebody's insecurities, you got to understand like this. He's in prison. He's serving, a, a life sentence. So he could probably see, what I'm saying, maybe she had some insecurities about the way she looked, and every day she coming in, he just sitting there like, hey, like, I've heard little different stories about how, the male inmates will, get a woman CO to kind of get down their team, but I haven't really heard of an intricate plot like this. So, hey, it was so lit that the nigga that she just gave it a ball. I mean, he must have been tearing that ass up, but we're gonna see. Because it's been like a week and they ain't found him. So if you didn't sold your house, if you didn't, they knew to drive. And the crazy thing is, they said they drove the car and parked it to where there was no cameras. Like this was mapped out. And if you got 100 grand in cash, that means you probably got some fake passports. So I'm keeping my eye on that situation. We're gonna see what that is. But let me ask y'all this. Let me just put that to you. Like, what would what would it take for you to risk something for your significant other? Like what would it be? I'm not texting anything. Somebody said I would like to go out on some Bonnie and Clyde type shit. That's so gangster to me. Nah, I'm cool. I like just chilling. Like I'm not into all of that. Like Bonnie and Clyde. Oh no, why? Like no, I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, somebody said if they knew that they were innocent. Now that's another twist plot. Thank you, the Bank of Josh. What if? That's an interesting point because what if? Because okay, I see that all the time on the news, and it always perplexes me when you hear those stories about innocent people that were locked up for things that they didn't do. I always just be like, oh my God, like I, I couldn't imagine. Like, could you imagine going to prison for 20, 30 years and then they just come out like, oh, our bad. Like, what? Like, could you imagine going to prison for something you didn't do? So what if he got in her ear and like, look, I didn't do this. This is wrong. Look at my case. I got railroaded. And then what if she was just like, well, I have seen people get falsely accused and serve sentences that they weren't supposed to. There's no way we can get him off. I love him. Maybe that's the play. That's the play that's a little bit more understandable. You know what I'm saying? Because if you like, I mean, just think about that. I mean, it's easy. It's always easy to say the politically correct thing to do. It's always easy to just be like, I would never do nothing like that. That's stupid. Okay, cool. But what if you broke it down a little bit more and said, hey, what if the woman or the man, whatever you're doing, that I love is falsely accused and in prison, and I have the resources to get them out? Now that, so I'm just thinking if I'm dating a woman and I'm a CO and she's like, look, I didn't do this shit. I don't know. That's different. That if you genuinely believe that the person is, that they're innocent, and people don't talk about that enough. It always angers me when I see people that get out of jail after so many years, and then people are just like the fuck. It's just weird to me. So yeah, I think if he played that angle, convinced her that he was innocent, and then she by happenstance, somebody said good sex is a weak excuse. Now, if you're doing that for sex, something's wrong with you. If you innocent, fight the case. If you run, you guilty. You do know that people have fought the case and have just been sitting in prison, and they have like all of these initiatives and these groups that be helping people get out. It be hundreds of thousands of people. And then you find out about corrupt police officers, corrupt DAs and judges. They don't please don't think that everybody sitting in jail is guilty. They ain't all innocent either, but don't think that everybody in jail did what the fuck they said they did. That's not true. Somebody said she got him off in more ways than one. Ha, see what they did there? Um, they would have had to be my husband. Here's my boyfriend. Then sorry to that man. What if y'all was on your way to getting married? I'm just trying to think about that. If my woman was in jail and I loved her and I genuinely believe that she didn't do it, I don't know. I might. I mean, I don't. But no. I mean, there's so many reasons to say why I wouldn't. You know, I'm a full time dad. Like, of course, I can't just go on the road with a woman. So, you know, I got a kid. So, how is that gonna work? I'm just out, just running for the rest of my life. Or what am I doing with my kid? So, it's different things. I mean, and plus, I got a lot of things I'm trying to do in my life. Like, I can't do them if I bring somebody out of jail. But I don't know, man. That is a different way to think about it. Somebody said, "What if it was your daughter?" So it's Kiara's almost in college. We are such shut up. I don't know, man. I just I I don't know. Because now when you bring into the fact that, oh, well, what if that was your sister? What if that was your brother? What if that was your parent? And you knew that they were innocent. I think that adds a layer to it that we're not thinking about it. Now, if I mean, like, I guess it's kind of hard to say because she obviously met this dude on her job. So it's just like, damn, what the hell did he say to you to make you give up your entire life and go on the run with him? But you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So yeah, but I think it's just funny. So Vicki and Casey White, like, I hope, that's the thing too. You also got to understand that what makes this more interesting is that he got sprung out of, he got taken out of prison by a correction officer. So when you have people that are on the other side of the law, she probably is very well vexed in how to evade police. She probably has a police scanner. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that. I think that they might be more difficult to find. They probably already changed their identities. You see what I'm saying? So they probably. Um, so yeah. So, and then I wonder if they get caught. Then what? If they get caught. I mean, the dude is Casey White is playing with house money. He has nothing to lose here. Nigga, you were serving a life sentence. The only thing they're gonna do is come back and be like, yeah, um, life plus 20 years. I hate it when they do stuff like that. So, I mean, they might put him in solitary confinement, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't got nothing to lose. He probably out eating some good food, having some good sex. Let me ask y'all this. How long do y'all think they can stay on the run? Because it's been close to a week. Now they're blasting their faces and videos everywhere. All in the name of love, mind you. How long? And who wants to live like that? Who wants to live in a space to where you just can't even, you see what I'm saying? And people did see your face. But I don't know, man. I think that love will make you, what did Will Smith say? Love will make you do some crazy things. Because that's crazy. Um, I'm always for people getting away from the police. So, hopefully they're not out here hurting nobody. Shit, they got, 100,000. You know what I'm saying? I just wonder what they're doing. What do you do when you're on the run from the feds and the police? Somebody said if they pick the right country, they could be on the run forever. Yeah, you could just disappear, but then you just can't come back. So we shall see what happens with that. We're coming up on our first hour of our second episode of Morning Cup of Dough. Nice quality H2O here. We've covered a couple of things. If you guys are new to the show. I mean, not new to the show. It's only 2 episodes. But if you're just coming in, we talked about Dave Chappelle getting attacked on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Foxx jumped in and helped him fight the dude. The dude got on stage with a gun and a knife, but nobody got hurt. And the comedians just beat up the guy. Then we talked some basketball, and then we've been talking some Vicki and Casey White. Second hour, we got some more stuff. Cardi B said some pretty interesting things. People are saying, "What's up with the?" Hold on a second. Somebody said, "No cell phones, no social media. Maybe they might have a chance, but the feds don't play. The feds are undefeated in these streets. They would definitely have to get off the grid, dump the iPhone. iPhone will get you trapped. They're gonna find you. Stay off social media. No Waffle Houses. So that how do how do Vicki and Casey White stay free? Hold on, let me see. Let me check and see if anything has happened since we've been on here. Hold on a second. White. Let's see. Let's see if there's any new. Hold on. New details emerge about the relationship between the Alabama inmate and a corrections officer. All right. Here, we're going to listen to this together. Oh, wait, never mind. I thought I was going to say play. Hold on a second. All right. Y'all ready to hear this? As the search continues for a fugitive inmate at the Alabama correction. Wait. Hold on. Fugitive inmate and the Alabama corrections officer who allegedly helped him escape. New details are emerging about the pair's relationship and the officer's apparent preparations for their getaway. The investigation has illuminated what authorities believe to be a romantic relationship between Vicki White, Assistant Director of Corrections in Lauderdale County, and Casey White, who is being held and aided the inmate in his escape instead of being forced or coerced. Vicki White, 56, and Casey White, 38. Wow, she's 22 years older than this man. That's interesting. Vicki White and Casey White, who are not related, went missing Friday morning when she said she was taking the inmate to the courthouse before going to seek medical attention because she wasn't feeling well. The two never arrived at the courthouse, and Vicki didn't make it to the medical facility. Authorities now believe that the inmate and officer had a romantic relationship, which extended into Vicki White's non-work hours. They traced the relationship back to as early as 2020 when Casey White, who was already serving time in the state prison, was first brought to Lauderdale County for an arraignment. As far as we know, that was the earliest physical contact they had, noting the pair continued to communicate after Casey White was transferred back to the prison. Singleton said the two had a special relationship. Hold on, this is what they're talking. Hold on. By inmates, Okay. Wow. And so now, all the people in the jail are starting to talk about it. Like, oh yeah, we know about this. They probably trying to. I didn't know she was that much older than him. Did not know she was that much older than him. That makes it interesting. 56 and 38. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. It's an older woman. It's a younger guy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. All right, hold on a second. We're going into our second hour. Let me make sure nothing else is popped on any other stories before we move on. Okay, no, we already got that. And yes, anybody that was here yesterday, I started my hold on one second. Started the 21 dough challenge today. Okay. Oh, and I didn't know this either. Apparently, hold on one second. I want to hear what Cardi B had to say. She has some interesting thoughts. Okay. Okay. Cardi B. Hold on one second. I don't want to misquote her. Okay. Here we go. This is from Newsweek. Cardi B has complained that fame is a curse stating that she yearns to return to working as a stripper following controversy over her statements at a Met Gala party Monday night. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna read that back. Cardi B has complained that fame is a curse, stating that she yearns to return to working as a stripper. The Up rapper made her comments about fame after video footage circulated of her hosting Playboy's Boom Boom Soiree, during which she made a joke on stage that some had interpreted online to be a quip about partygoers using cocaine. In the clip across social media, Billie English is seen looking at the stage and then referring to somebody as weird as she spoke to a friend, prompting a host of Twitter users to assume that she was referring to Cardi B. Let's see this. Cardi B responded to her coke arrests via vid, and Billie English calling her weird. Don't wish to be famous, wish to be rich. I feel like celebrity that's always in the principal's office. Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. Now we have, hold on a second. So now we have Cardi B, who is one of the most well-known rappers, who's had a pretty dope ascension over the last, what we're gonna call it, 5 years. Dope personality. Somebody said, "Put my hand down." Shut up. Hold on a second. And she came from New York. Obviously she had a background as a stripper, and now she's one of the biggest rappers, and she is constantly scrutinized. And that is okay. That is to say I hate fame. I'd rather be a stripper. You got to think about that because I've never been a stripper, obviously, so I don't know about that line of work. But as a woman, I don't know how women perceive that line of work. I don't know if they love it. I don't know if they don't like it. I've met some women who were strippers before. None of them really liked it, but they did what they were doing to get some paper. So to say, forget all of this other stuff that I've done, I'd rather go back to that. That is very telling because that to me makes it seem like the fame must be kind of getting to it. I believe that Cardi B has let this get to her because she's had a couple of quasi meltdowns before, like you know what I'm saying. So I don't know. I think that that's very, very telling. And I think that we also have to look at it like this too. We gotta stop looking at celebrities as people who just be going crazy and losing their mind for no reason. And we have to also start looking at this as maybe it's not the people, maybe it's the machine that they're in. I was touching on this yesterday. So if you have somebody who is making millions and millions upon millions of dollars and probably has the life that most of us would wish for, why would that person want to just say F this? I want to go back to getting lap dances. Somebody said I'm all for wealth, but I never want to be famous. People can be too merciless. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's crazy to see that people just say, I'd rather just not have this but see, this is the thing. I don't think that it's just people are merciless. I feel like social media has changed everything. Social media gives everybody a voice to talk. People say whatever they want about you with little to zero consequences. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's why I feel like situations happen like, when you see a Mike Tyson punching on somebody on an airplane. Because I think people will get around people in person and think you can kind of play it the same way that you play it online. No, you get your ass beat in real life. See, I came from that era. I'm old enough to remember that the things that you said about individuals, you would most likely see that person. Like, I'm 42 years old. I'll be 43. You know what I'm saying? So I was born in 79. You see what I'm saying? So when you would say stuff about people, even if it was just by word of mouth, it would get back to them and you'd see them. And you'd have to kind of stand on everything that you said. I think with social media, you don't have that. You can say things, you could do vlogs, you could do whatever you want to do. And it's just, anybody don't say nothing. Like you can say some of the most horrendous things that you want. And can nobody do nothing? Somebody said, why don't celebrities go back to the way things that were and stay off social media? They should not allow so much access to themselves. I believe that. I definitely believe that. And there are celebrities that do that. we don't know what the hell Jay-Z and Beyonce be doing. You see them when they want you to see them, and then you just don't. They don't do interviews. They don't just be popping up. Like they pop up for stuff, but their life is pretty. So I do think that it can be done. But see, I think that fame is a double-edged sword. And let me explain why I believe that. I believe when everybody loves you, it's cool because nobody is going to push away or push back or give some resistance against praise. As we're human beings. So if somebody's saying something good about you, like so for instance with Cardi B, they're like, oh my God, you're such a great rapper. Oh my God, you're a good mother. Oh my God, you're I don't think she's gonna be like, stop talking to me about that. I can't deal with this. This is bothering me. But you know what I'm saying? When you gotta think she just went through a case where somebody was trying to defend her. She had to go defend her name and sue somebody. Like, or when you have people, questioning what type of parent you are, or just saying just and every word that you say is under a microscope. But I think what celebrities have to understand is you don't get to have it both ways. It's kind of like the same. It's the same thing. It's just like, okay, you're going to be able to get hundreds and millions of dollars and live in a way that most people ain't going to be able to live. But one of the things that you're going to have to deal with in that is that people are going to say these things that are, it's just like it's part of what comes along with the territory. You see what I'm saying? Like that's why like even like with the Ben Simmons thing in basketball, it's like people were saying like, oh well, mentally he's having a tough time about it. Da 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 da. It's like I get that, but I think that that's why they pay people so much money because everybody can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like my heart, you know what I'm saying? Like I can relate to to Cardi B in my own small way. I'm nowhere as near as big, but I've been talked about. I don't like it. It's hurtful. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said if we're being real, most people won't know how to handle fame. It's one thing when you're back in the hood getting love versus being on major platforms 27. I absolutely believe that. And fame can be not only can fame be fleeting, it can also be like a drug. Some people get addicted to that. You get addicted. This thing, if every time you say something, millions of people was like, yeah, man, that's great, that's cool. Somebody was talking about the Terry Kennedy thing. I heard about that. I feel like y'all should let people do what they want to do. They're gonna be on social media and let them be them. It's their life. I feel like in order, this is just what I'm learning just in life in general. I feel like in life in general that you you just have to put your mind toward the things that make you happy. That's what I believe. I believe that you should put yourself around the people that make you happy. I feel like, if something is making you happy, do more of it. If it's making you unhappy, do less of it. And I think so many times we feel like we don't have that power, but no, you do. Like y'all are waking up right now. We got 47 people over here, 23 people over here. So we got like 70 people. Y'all are choosing to spend your time with Doughboy. There's a million different morning shows you can go to. It's only my second episode. You guys are choosing to be here with me. So in reciprocation of that, I'm choosing to give you guys my energy, get you guys ready for, what you but these are all decisions that we're making. Now, if I was up here just saying a bunch of negativity and just, saying things that just were making you feel like this is making me be in a bad mood, tune off. But I feel like these are all decisions that we make. And even as somebody that's like a celebrity, as a celebrity, like you have a choice. And this is what I do feel. I feel like all of us at some point, I think, okay, I noticed this the other day. Blue, what up, my guy? Shout out my boy Blue. We just shot an incredible pilot together. Can't wait to see that back. This is what I believe about social media. And this is why I feel like we should all sometimes take some time to log off of social media. And I'm genuinely thinking about doing that today. I realized the other day that I be on my phone a lot. Not even necessarily texting or calling people, like not like that. Like as far as like social media, looking about what's going on. And I realized it the other day because like I was online like at my desk and then I go into the bathroom, use the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom on my phone. The first thing I do when I wake up is I'm on my phone. And I feel like social media like that. I feel like if you don't disconnect from that, I feel like that's an issue. There's an issue with these phones, and I genuinely believe that. It's like, and then I feel like when you go on social media, it's they call it doom scrolling. Wow, not just social media. I think we need to go back to flip phones. Shout out to my brother Charlie Newhart. He was also my co-host and co-producer on our show Roast Patrol. And we got a lot of stuff coming. He for a couple years had a flip phone because he said he couldn't be on social media. And you know, I think that there's some credence to that. When I was tripping, like back in 2020, like, and I was going through whatever I was going through, I had to stay off the phone. I had to stay off of YouTube. Like it was a thing. So, and this is the thing that I think that people fail to realize. I think that what people fail to realize is when you go to social media, you're just seeing the highlight reel of everybody's life. Nobody's gonna put their fucked up situation. Nobody's gonna put, when they're crying and going through some shit. You're genuinely gonna see the highlight reel. Just as like when you go to ESPN and you see the highlights of the game. They're not gonna play you the whole game. They're gonna give you a 1 minute, just give you with some clips and some highlight dunks. That's what you're looking at every time that you go to social media. And sometimes if you go, because this is the problem that I have, I will go and just be comparing myself to everybody. And it's just not, and with me it's different because like even in the profession that I do, like it's easy to like look at what other people doing and just like your peers and just like, man, this person's doing this. What am I doing? That's such an unhealthy way to move through life. You see what I'm saying? It's like it robs your joy because then every day you wake up, you're looking at a constant reminder that you aren't where you're supposed to be. And so then that can just make you just be like, man, then you can just start having a bad day. So I think, and then don't let somebody be talking crazy about you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Like, and just think about it. Just and it doesn't even have to be like you don't have to be an entertainer or nothing. It could be somebody in your circle of friends talking about you crazy in front of your other friends. Like then it can make you be like, I just got embarrassed in front of a bunch of people. And so yeah, I definitely understand what a Cardi B is going through, but I think that there's a bigger issue in society. Somebody said social media is a blessing and a curse. Yo, I thought about that recently. I was like, you can literally just go to your phone, hit the search button, and then just start looking at women sliding in DMs. They all over the country. I just feel like there's something. I feel like it robs us of the living experience. Somebody said I have a timer on Instagram and choose to follow more inspirational pages than people in the hopes of feeling more inspired and informed than accidentally comparing myself to the edited versions of other people. God damn it, Desi Renee. Self-awareness much? That's fire. I have a timer on Instagram and choose to follow more inspirational pages than people in hopes of feeling more inspired and informed than accidentally comparing myself to the edited versions of other people. Because people are editing their lives. Right. Hold on. Somebody said the statement about telling people to snort a line. Is that what she said? Hold on. I'm not on any social media for 2 years, and even YouTube algorithm gets creepy sometimes. It's too much on the phone. You cannot enjoy the world when it's in your hand. Wow. Hold on. Is that what she did? She told somebody to smoke some coke? Oh, let's get into Cardi. What did she say? Oh, wait. She said, make sure y'all get y'all drinks and make sure y'all get a little. And she ran her finger across her nostril, sniffing loudly. Cardi B, whose real name is Belcaeus Marlenis Almanar, responded to the chatter by sharing a snippet of her voice with Eilish, during which the singer told her that she was calling weird was, in fact, the sight of people grappling to take footage of the rap star. Okay. And then what she said was, I hate the internet because one, how do y'all turn one of the most lit parties into drama? Two, Ocean Eyes is the song I cater to my daughter. Three, Billy is my fucking baby. Yesterday, from the Met to the party, everything was drama free. Why do y'all want to turn everything into a mess? Oh, taking things further, the mother of two said in the video shared on her Instagram stories that she wished to return working as a stripper. Da 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 da. I really hate it. If you ever wish to be rich and famous, don't wish to be famous, wish to be rich. Y'all see me these last couple days. You see me partying, going to the club with my fucking friends, everything. You see I be in a good mood. But once I step out, once I start doing anything that will go on social media, it's always bad. I'm so sick of it. I hate it. Why me? I feel like God cursed me with fame. Dead ass. Dead fucking gas. God really cursed me with fame. Fame is just like, oh God, I hate it here. If I could click my fucking feet 3 times and go back to fucking 2013 when I was a regular bitch dancing and making money every single night, that's where I want to be. That's when I was me. Not even 2016. That's, ooh. This whole go by the book stuff, gotta watch what you say, watch what you do. It's not me, bro. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how I always get in trouble. Okay. All right. And then she did, okay. Okay. So I should have read this more. Okay. So let's tear that down a little bit. So okay. And I'm with Cardi on this one. Okay. 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 Here we go. I'm with Cardi on this one now. Now that I know more facts and information. Okay. So she's at a party. Let me see if I even have the sound of it. Hold on one second. Just so we can kind of hear it as a team. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay, here we go. Have fun. Make sure you get that drink. Make sure okay. That wasn't even that bad. Okay. So she said, make sure y'all get y'all drinks. Make sure y'all get y'all little. And then people came for her. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. I am with Cardi on this one because it's just like, why? Why do people trip so much? Like, she's at a party saying, yo, turn up, do what you do, have fun. Now, are there people that do cocaine? Yeah, there are. Was she like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's at a party, obviously full of adults, saying, hey, do what you got to do. Why would people come for her after that? I don't like, come on, y'all. Like, I do feel like what are we doing? Like, now is that like the most, like, oh, okay, like, okay, let's dissect that. Is she wrong for that? I don't feel like she's wrong. Is she wrong for being at a party, grabbing a mic, saying, hey, get into your zone, smoke you some weed? Somebody said, do I know why? Well, I don't know why. Like, why? I mean, she's not like an athlete. Like, you see what I'm saying? She's not like a politician. She's a fucking rapper. Like, rappers talk shit like that all the time. All these rappers talk about doing drugs. She's not wrong in that scene. Most people do coke. So that's what I'm saying. And then so like for people to come at her and attack her, I don't know. I don't I don't think that's right. And I think that this is where I don't like social media. Because if this was just regular life, there wouldn't have been a camera phone out. There wouldn't have the footage wouldn't have went viral. You see what I'm saying? And then now you give the voice to all these people to be like, oh, be up in arms. Um, People troll too much. The more they complain about the trolls and people coming for you, the more they'll do it because they know that they can get it out of you. Of course, you know. And I feel like she goes back and forth with the fans entirely too much. Somebody said most people do not do coke. That's a wild statement. Okay, nigga, in LA, I'm saying a lot of people do coke. Okay, I'm not here to have a conversation about who's doing coke and who's not doing coke. I don't care. I don't do coke. It's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. But there's people who do coke. Okay, if she's at a party and she's just having fun, like, hey, get you a drink, do whatever you do. Do we really need to get upset with a person? I just don't feel like that's something to get angry with somebody. Somebody said it would not have been a big deal. People just like to point fingers. I believe that. They're attacking because they can't relate to that lifestyle. I don't understand why celebrities pay attention to these people that they will never meet. They'll never meet. Yeah, because those people can fuck around and get online and go viral for tearing you down. No, I'm with Cardi on this one. Like y'all gonna make it to where celebrities feel like they can't say or do nothing. She was at a party. If you don't do coke, why are you offended by that? If you do it, okay. That was just an attack to you. But it shouldn't be that she needs to be defending herself. Why? No, no. I don't feel like that's necessary. So I'm actually with her, on that. Somebody says because this cocaine is destruction. They're at a party. Alcohol is destructive too. You see motherfuckers drinking all the damn time. Are they mad when they be like, "Oh, I have a drink"? All that shit is destructive. Motherfucker gonna say that's a destructive drug. Like alcohol just ain't. Oh, come on, guys. Somebody said, "I guess I'm from a different era where crackheads were cokeheads were crackheads." Listen, the cocaine. It's up to you. I'm just not. I don't judge people. That's not me. That's not what I do. Now, if you asking me, though, should I do coke? No. It's expensive from what I hear, and it can be dangerous. There's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't do coke. If you're a guy or if you do coke, it'll make your soldier not stand at attention. You know what I mean? If you sniff the wrong stuff, you could die. You know what I mean? They put fentanyl and different stuff. So is it dangerous? Yeah, I would. If you had asked me, no, I don't think you should do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I hear you sniffing over in the bathroom somewhere, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my god, you're a terrible person." It's not my nose. Somebody said it doesn't matter where they're at. Yes, alcohol is very destructive, but that doesn't mean coke and alcohol are the same thing. All I'm saying is, if somebody's at a party and they're basically what she's saying is, turn up, do what you do. I don't feel like she should be attacked for that. Somebody said being at a party doesn't make cocaine less destructive. It don't. You're missing the point. We're not talking about cocaine and its destructiveness. I think anybody with anything in between the ears, you know what you're dealing with when you come with some coke. Somebody said coke is being normalized in a lot of places, and it's being normalized in the entertainment industry. Not cool, but people do it. Cocaine has been around for years, guys. This ain't no new shit. If anything that's being new and normalized, I probably would say lean. But I believe that you guys are somebody said alcohol is literally poisoning. As soon as you drink it, your body's trying to fight it off. Facts. But that's never looked at like that. Motherfuckers be drunk all the time doing stuff, and everybody knows, like, hold on a second. Everybody knows my storied, you know, battle with alcohol. So I don't know. That's just the thing that I think. But the bigger scope of what I'm trying to say is I don't feel like people should judge other people, especially if I'm saying people just square. I don't do powder, but I also don't judge people like that. She was just telling people to get on their level. Exactly. If she would have been like smoke your weed, da 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 da. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my point is why attack her for being at a party saying that? Like, obviously it wasn't something that was supposed to go out for public consumption. It ain't like she did a commercial and said, "Hey, when you're at a party, do cocaine." No, she got on the mic, she's talking her shit, hey, da 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 da. Somebody gets a phone, puts it out, goes. Somebody said, and it's legal. There's no benefit to drinking alcohol. That's not exactly, you're right. Somebody said it's not just coke. That's the least strongest of the drugs out there. Yeah, people are way too scared. Exactly. What did you miss? What's the discussion? We're talking about Cardi B saying she's sick of fame because people came for her because she was at a party, got on the mic, and said, "Hey, drink your drink, you know, sniff your little," and then people, you know, just went wild. Somebody said, "I consider coke to be a big deal, but a lot of people don't." Whether you think it's a big deal or not is not the point of what I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is, if she is a celebrity and she's at a party and she's obviously just having a good time, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Somebody said that's crackish to me. Hey, to each his own. Everyone takes everything so damn literally and personally. No one listens to understand, only to respond. That's a fact. That's a fact. People always look for stuff. They look for shit to cancel people about. They look for to start controversy. They just look to just say shit. I just be like, man, you don't look. How about she was just at a party and just saying some shit and having some fun with the people at the party? Why can't it just be that? I don't feel like she needs to be attacked. She is a rapper. She's not a role model for kids. Like, you see what I'm saying? They say trust that you're in a shelter if you think coke is a big deal. I don't condone it. I don't condone it, but it's so common, it's ridiculous. Exactly. Like, listen, I'm 42. I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, coke, like, you see it. You've been around it. Like, I used to have friends that used to do coke. Listen, I just don't judge people. That's the thing that I think we're letting go. Like, let people just do what they do. But the point of what I'm trying to say, because I don't want to turn this into a let's have a deep dive on drugs and the effect on the brain. It's, man, just let people live, man. That don't sound that off brand from something that Cardi B would say. If you guys listen to her music, just let people live, man. That's my biggest thing. I just want people to be able just live their life. As long as you're not hurting people, as long as you're not violating people, you should be able to, say things that you want to say. We're coming into the last. Somebody said you thought Morning Cup of Dough was a lighthearted morning podcast. I'm trying to get it back there. That's why I'm just saying that. The topic was lighthearted. Then everybody was like, "Oh, drugs and alcohol." Okay, I don't know. I'm just talking about, stop judging Cardi B. Let Cardi B live her life. Let Cardi B. See what I did there? And thank you for low key souls. That's why I'm trying to make it a lighthearted podcast. Shit, I don't want to get to talking about the problems of drugs in society. Man, fuck that. Y'all got to get ready to go to work. Shit. All right. What else do we got going? What else is going on? I just recently watched the last season of Good Girls, season 4. Hated the ending. Does anybody have any suggestions for things that I could watch? I need something new to put a different taste in my mouth. Yeah, work starts at 9. Shit, nobody want to hear about this shit. Y'all going into work. Damn it, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Nobody want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this shit. You're right. Thank you for checking me. I want to watch something. I want to watch something good. I want to watch something funny. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and let me talk to you guys about this. Okay? And I kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday, but this is where we're at. So weight loss wise, I got to get to it. None of has anybody ever been in that space, clothing wise, where ain't nothing fit? Like, everything is just a little more snug than you would like, and you got to make that difficult decision of, nigga, either I got to get some bigger clothes or I have to lose weight. Like, has anybody dealt with that, or is it just me? Because it's a fight or flight moment. Because I'm literally like, all right, nigga, I'm gonna have to. But it's like, this is like a cross in the roads moment. It's like, nigga, it's snacks and doing whatever the fuck you want over here, and eating right and exercising over here. So I'm just like, bruh, like, what am I supposed to do? I got like 5 pair of size 38s in the closet. They're not coming up past my thigh. So I got to figure out what I'm trying to do. Because, goddamn it, I'm not going to just start buying a bunch of clothes. Let's talk about some positivity. We only got 30 minutes left. Let me check Twitter, see if anything else crazy has happened. What else is going on? Let me ask y'all this, because I know a lot of y'all going to work. Big Sean is trending. What'd he do? Hold on 1 second. All right, hold on 1 second. Oh, never mind. Okay. All right, let me ask you guys this. Okay, everybody saying One Piece? Okay, I'll take a look at it. Wait. It's damn near lunchtime? Okay. Let me ask y'all this. What's the most creative lie that you've told to get out of work? I'm going to think of mine right now. What was the most creative lie that you made or that you told a boss to get out of work and did it work? Because we all kind of run out of those the template excuses. Oh, I'm sick. You always hear that so many times. Oh, I had a death in the family. You know what I'm saying? But what's the most creative thing that you said? Let me think. 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 What's the most creative thing that I said? We gotta stop the late night snacking. Oh, of course. Oh, of course. Um, I think the most creative thing that I said to get out of work. So let me just think. The last time I was working a job. Well, the last time I was really working a job, because when I was working at All Def, I never really called in like that. So I never really. I used to love being at work. So let me see. What's the most creative thing that I ever said to get out of work? You said you told him you ate spicy food and your hemorrhoids were on fire. He was so grossed out and said, "Yuck, you take care of that." Hilarious. Um, I know that I have lied and said I was sick and they said I can come in and they told me to stay home. Um, hemorrhoids. Whew. I'm trying to think because before. Okay, let me think of the job that I used to. Okay, let me think of back when I was working at Wells Fargo. Um, Somebody said, "You terrible at lying." I snitch on myself before I'm done with the sentence. Have you ever called in to try to call in to work sick, and you try to make yourself sound sick as if sick has a sound? You call and be like, "Hello." Why you always just be trying to just sound so defeated? Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just not feeling. That's why I like that. Like a lot of jobs I was working, they just didn't care. You just take the day off. They didn't even want to hear your excuse. You just had so much PTO. But you know what? I think that I do remember. I remember telling them. I do remember the most creative thing I said when I was working at Progressive. I had said that my car had run out of gas, and then I went because I had a gas can, and I went to go walk and get gas. And when I came back, the car was gone. I do remember saying that, and that was an absolute lie. I was an absolute. I was like, yeah. They're like, well, do you know what happened with your car? I'm like, yeah, I think it got towed. They're like, okay, well, just go ahead and figure it out. Because I think I had all the points, and they were gonna fire me. And I told them that, and they did not fire me. I remember that, and that was a whole ass lie. Somebody said MLK was my great grandfather, and it was a family requirement to be off on MLK Day. That's hilarious. So that did happen. And they were concerned for me. They're like, "Oh my God, do you know where the car is?" I'm like, "No, no, no. I'm gonna try to call. I'm gonna call you right back." You got to just hit them with that sense of urgency in your voice. Somebody said I went to the ER and had a nurse lie for me and say I had food poisoning. Hilarious. I have gotten fake doctor's notes too. I've gone to the doctor before to save my job before, and just went in there. Was like, I don't feel good. They're like, "What is it?" I just don't feel good. Hilarious. So I tell the truth. Those jobs were depressing. That's hilarious. What else? Who else is a creative reason to not go to work or just to like get off on a half a day? You could even say that like if you was at work and you just needed to get off, like what creative thing did you use? I know I had used Kiara in a lie at least a couple of times because she was super young. And I'd be like, yo, yeah, the preschool just called. I guess my daughter got into an issue. She's throwing up. Can I go get her? So, but that just really wasn't that creative. I think we all use our kids sometime. We got about 25 more minutes. This is getting good. I do what I've learned. Let me tell you guys what I've learned already in 1.5 episodes. I'm going to have to make sure I pick topics that are lighthearted and fun. I don't want to go deep on this show. And both days it kind of happened. Somebody said I gotta adopt this baby. That's hilarious. So I gotta find a way to keep this lighthearted and fun. So do this for me. hop in the comments of the I Am Doughboy TV at YouTube or on Instagram and just tell me the things that you guys want to talk about. I want to talk about funny shit. I want to talk about inspirational stuff. I don't want to get on here and be talking about what's more of a class A1 drug, alcohol or cocaine. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about, somebody said, my buddy used a fake doctor note. Wait, my buddy used a fake doctor note, but it was from his wife, OBGYN. Hilarious. Needless to say, he got his 8 hours no pay. He said my buddy used a doctor's note, but it was from his wife, gynecologist. That's funny. That's funny. I think I did something, when my daughter's mom was pregnant. I think I used a fake scare one time, like, oh, I think this might be it. Whenever you expect a kid, you can always use that. Why is it that we do that? Okay, let's talk about work, right? What is it about work to where when you first get that job, that excitement level is out of this world. You love it. You think it's the illest shit, and you're just happy to be there. You're like, I got this job, I'm making money. To where at some point, usually with me, it'd be like 3-4 months, you are looking for every excuse in the book to not go to this place. Is it just me? Is it just me that does that? Everybody using COVID now. Yeah, COVID blew the doors open. You just can't tell a nigga no because a nigga might come in there and infect the whole office. But what is it about that? Because I never, somebody said you starting to see all you beginning to learn the truth about the place that you work for. But I don't know if it's even that, because I don't know that I worked for terrible companies. Like I worked for Progressive, I worked for Allstate, I worked for Wells Fargo, you know. But like, do you remember that? Like, do you remember that? Like, I'm just talking about this disparity from when you first get it and you're super excited and you're driving there and you're getting there. But then that shit just dissipates. I think that's why it's important to make sure you do work that you love. Maybe I just didn't love customer service because when I used to go to All Def, I loved it. Like I don't think I ever tried to not go, unless I was just toe up from the day before. But it just gets old fast. But like it's just weird to see the excitement level go from nigga, I love this job, I love my coworkers, I love my boss, I love the fact that I get time off to I hate this place. Like it's like so much on the other side. It's like I would do anything to not go there. I will burn through all my PTO. I will. I think the thing about customer service jobs is that customer service jobs are a lot like movie theater jobs. To where what I mean by that is it's the age ranges are just, it's like it'd be young people and it'd be old people. But it's not like a ton of middle-aged people, if that makes, you see what I'm saying? Well, there is, because I just remember, I don't know. Maybe that thought didn't make sense at all. But you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a lot of middle-aged people. Like it's like people work at the movies like between like 18 and 25, and then like from 50 beyond. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, "No, I just listened to Be a Friends. Awesome testimony. Keep telling your testimony. We ever come to hey man, I appreciate you." The mundane monotony sits in. I like that. And if you don't love it, it can feel mundane. You can just be like, "Why am I here?" I like that. I worked customer service during the recession 08. Everybody was losing it. Those were the only type of jobs available. No, I from like from like 98 till maybe 2008, I did every customer service job you could think of because I just knew I wasn't built for physical labor. Let me tell you how I knew I wasn't built for physical labor. Because when I tried it, so my first couple of jobs, so now we just talking and ripping, like, you know what I'm saying? We got through all that little stuff. So now we're just talking. My first couple of jobs that I had, first job I ever had was a paper route when I was really young, like 8 years old. That was cool. But then the other job that I had, I worked at Togo's, did a sandwich shop. I got fired for calling one of my white co-workers nigga. I thought he was my boy. I'm like, hey, you my nigga. He went and told him I got fired. I worked at Boston Market got fired for chewing on the job. What they called chewing was they caught me chewing too many times. So that was that. Then I started to do security. That was cool. That was decent. But then I tried to in the middle of trying to get a job, I did what they would call day labor. And it was like temp service, right? And you would go there and you didn't know what you would do, and you would just show up and stand in line. And if they needed you, they would send you out to a place, right? So I go out to a place. I'll never forget. They sent me out to a place, and back then we were making like $10 an hour. It's like no money, but it was money to me. I needed it. Do you know for 8 hours they gave us a sledgehammer. It was a bunch of us, and we broke rocks, put them into a wheelbarrow, and then like dumped them onto like a truck all day. And it was at that moment I was like, I'm just not built for physical labor. I just can't. And so it was at that point I was like, whatever I end up doing is gonna have to be with me talking, like something to that effect. And then once I got into to customer service, it was like, oh, you get to sit down, it's AC, and you just gotta talk. Okay, I'll do that. Fun fact, let me tell you a funny story. And this is what got me off of security. So I was working loss prevention. At Safeway, right? And so basically we would walk around in plain clothes and just look for people shoplifting. Like we would have to have the eye for it. Like still to this day, because of the training I got back then, every time I go to the grocery store, I still to this day see people shoplifting just because I know what to look for. It's like, you see somebody doing this. Like I see it. I don't care because it ain't my problem. Okay. So I'll never forget, there was these girls that came in and they hit us. They had done it more than once. So this is what they would do. And it was really a fascinating lick that they would do. Okay. So they would have two girls come in on the right-hand side. Two girls would come in on the left, right? They would both have baskets. Okay. They would come in. One of the girls would just go and grab a bunch of grocery bags. The other girl would just go and start dumping shit into the bag. And when you see it, like when you see a person shopping like that, it's like they don't even look like they're shopping. They're just throwing shit into this basket. They're not like really, and it was like expensive too, like bottles of liquor. It was just Similac. It was just like, and I'm walking around like, what I'm saying, to see this, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, because I can't blow my cover. And it was the coldest shit. So then they had it like, set down. So then they had a whatchamacallit. They had a grocery cart full of stuff. And then they had an empty, grocery cart. They go to the back. Now I couldn't see them at the time. And then one of the girls takes the cart into the bathroom. She starts bagging up the stuff. Then the other girl goes back, and then she was gone. So then I lose them both. And the reason why I know is because I ended up watching the tape later. The other girl goes, and they're filling up the other basket. Then the other basket comes out. They go back into the bathroom, and then they bag up all the groceries. And then they both leave out the sides. And this all happens within like 5 to 7 minutes, like really quickly. So they had hit us like that more than once. And it was on my shift with me and my boy. So, what I'm saying? It was getting on. I was like, nigga, y'all gotta do something about this. So they did it like 2 or 3 times. And it was just like, damn, these motherfuckers are, because when they would just do it so fast. So they both. And then they would come out in the front, and then they had a van that would pull up, and then they would just, but when they had got caught, when they didn't get caught, they would just walk out, because what it looks like is this. It would look like they were just walking out of the grocery store with their groceries bagged up. So if I didn't see nothing and I just kind of like lost them for a second, I was just like, oh, maybe I missed it, whatever. So that's how they were like so good to do it, right? So then finally, once we know what it was, it's like, okay, we got to watch for this. All right, cool. So me and my boy, we see them come in, and we're like, okay, we know what they're about to do, right? You go over at that door, I'm gonna just follow and keep my eye on them. So we kind of like see them and we know everything that they do. Then they go for their move, right? This is the reason why I stopped doing security. So then we go outside. Now, mind you, when we used to catch people doing the crime or stealing stuff, like we would always have to call the police if you got caught stealing alcohol. And but you know, we would have to come up to you and talk to you like nicely and just be like, hey, you need to come back with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes you might get swung on, like you don't know, people be crazy. I was never really the confrontational one. Like if I could, like they would teach us, you go up and you grab their arm and then you'd be like, hey, I need to talk to you. You show them your badge, you know, your little loss prevention badge. I need to talk to you in the back. Most people are cool. But if somebody like snatched their hand away or like became confrontational, you didn't have to do anything because we didn't have no weapons. So 9 times out of 10, if I confronted somebody and it was a problem, I let them go like, hey, I don't care. Because I didn't. So, but my boy, he was like trying to, you know, be a cop. Like he took the shit super seriously. So, and we had cuffs for if we needed them, right? So he goes outside, mind you, there's a gray van. And so they start putting the stuff in there. So I go up and try to talk to one of the ladies. He goes up and tries to talk to the other one that's trying to get her car over there. And so I'm like, hey, we need to talk to you guys. They're like, get the fuck out of here. So I'm just like, oh, well, that's that. I'm outside, but I'm just letting it happen. He's not having it though. So he's like, hey, you need to stop. And so the girl swings on him, right? He tries to put a handcuff on her hand. She swings on him again. She caught him both times. Boom, twice. After he got hit the second time, he hits her. Boom. He didn't like drop her, but he just hit her. She was just like, and so then she just, and like everybody was kind of shocked when he hit her. They had most of the groceries. The other girl had already hopped in the car. She just hops in the car and they leave. We think that, no, and I remember, I'll never forget when he hit her, the other girl said, oh my God, you just hit my cousin, bitch. She's pregnant. And so, you know, I was just like, oh shit. Like I'm tripping like, okay, he just, you know, hit this pregnant girl. Like, that's crazy. So boom. They drop like, okay, nigga, we gonna be back. We gonna be back. They like, turn it up. I'm like, okay. And so they leave, right? And so then they come back. And so we could see that like the stuff that was going on. They come back with some niggas. Mind you, so we see it was like 4 or 5 niggas. And they come out seeing that one of the niggas had a pistol like shoving in his pants. So our like supervisors was up, they were like, you guys get upstairs. Like so they put us in this area because they was looking for both of us. And then they was searching the whole store trying to get at us. And then they had to end up calling the police. They ended up leaving before the police got there. That was my last day as a security officer because I was like, no, it's just not worth it. I was making like $12 an hour. I was like, no. And that was the messed up part about it. I was like, nigga, these niggas is coming up here looking for me. I ain't even hit the girl. This nigga, this is him. I didn't care. They could have stole all of this shit. They came up, they had Blicky out. They had Blicky. So I was just like, nah, I couldn't do it. So after that, I went to a life of customer service. So shout out to all my customer service workers out here. It was a lot more safe than that. And it was a lot easier than breaking rocks. Was I in the hood? Yeah, I was in the hood. I'll never forget when he hit her. She looked so shocked. I was like, why you look so shocked? You just hit this man twice, flush. So yeah, that was that. I did do security though. I had fun with security, but I was never a good security guard. I remember I was a security guard at a movie theater. And when I was security guard at a movie theater, of course I was watching the movies because it was just fuck it. And I'll never forget one day I went in to watch a movie. I watched Austin Powers and the Spy Who Shagged Me. And I'll never forget, I came out of the movie. It was police there. It was a bunch of shit going on. I got a fucking popcorn and a soda. I come outside, it's police there. He's sitting there with my supervisor. They all point over to me like, there he goes over there. I'm like, Belcher, what were you doing? I was just like, no, I was just taking my break. Apparently, hella shit had happened. There was a fight. Some cars had gotten broken into. All while I was in the movie. I had my walkie-talkie turned off. The nigga talked to me like I was a real cop. He was like, I hate to do this, but give me your badge, Belcher. Nigga, I ain't no real cop. Nigga, take this goddamn. Them niggas were so mad, bro. It was sirens everywhere. I looked like such a failure. All right. We only got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to have more stories every day and more funny stories. Just so, you know what I'm saying? So I realized I had like 4 stories. I was like, nigga, you're going to be talking for 2 hours. And it's just you. And I think I'm going to get StreamYard today or tomorrow so I can maybe have guests. So we can maybe play music. So we can just do different things. We're gonna build this into one of the best Somebody said, "Can we do music?" Yeah, hit my DM, man. Go to Instagram, hit my DM. I am Doughboy. IAMDOBOY. Send me something. We can work. But we're gonna build this to be the funnest morning show ever. I'm just learning. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot to keep people's attention for 2 hours. I think I did. Who stayed here for the whole 2 hours? Who's been here for the whole time? Who's been here for 2 hours for the whole since 6 a.m. Because I woke up and we got to it. Who's been here for the entire time? Raise your hand. And how do you rate the pacing of the show? Listen up, 'cause I want to give you guys what you want. You know. You on the East Coast? Shout out to Data 8806. Data 8806. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. What's everybody got going for the day? You worked at Papa John's doing delivery and pulled off with 2 large pepperonis on top of my car. They fired me for that. Nigga, okay, that's what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. We're gonna have getting fired stories. Because no cap, outside of All Def and Allstate, I got fired from every job I ever had. All of them. I have been fired in some of the most creative ways. I've been fired straight on. I got fired when I thought I was getting a promotion. Tomorrow, that's what we're going to talk about. I want to know your being fired story. Don't tell them to me now. I need to know what was the craziest reason that your ass got let go. I have a ton of them. I got fired when I thought I was getting a promotion. I cried one time when I got fired. Thought that would help. It didn't work. I've been fired via telephone, in person. I remember one time I got fired. They were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna take you off the schedule." I'm like, "Okay, cool. When you gonna put me back on?" They were like, "No." I got fired at an orientation. I got fired on the 90th day. They fired me, and every time I got fired, they all looked at me like, "You didn't know this was coming?" No. Fired from the movie theater, of course. Fired from First NLC. From First NLC. I be getting fired. Most of the time, it was for attendance, bullshit like that. I got fired at the orientation. That was okay. So I'll tell a brief part of that story. I got fired at the orientation because I was working at. Okay, I'll tell this quick story, and then we'll get out of here on this. Go over to the YouTube. This is what happened, right? This was back in '98. A lot was going on in the time, in this time. But just to make a long story short, I was living in a house that I shouldn't have been living in. And I'll just leave it there. I'll go deeper into that one day. But you know what I'm saying? I was hustling the system living in the house. But I knew that wouldn't last too long. So I needed to get a job so I can get a regular studio apartment, right? So I was working at Walmart and I would work the graveyard shift and didn't have a car. Would ride my bike a couple of miles to get to this place. Imagine me, doughboy, riding a bike, right? And then it was fucked up because it was a 24-hour Walmart in Elk Grove. Okay. And the fucked up thing about the Walmart in Elk Grove, it was like it was lit. It was like people would just be in there all hours of the night. I would see people I knew, would be bad bitches in there. It would just be a thing. Here I am stocking the shelves. So I already gained a complex. So I was like a stocker to where I was there to restock the shelves, go get the stuff on a pallet. So my clothes would get dirty and shit. Like you supposed to just wear some fucked up work clothes with a Walmart vest. I'm sitting here spending most of my money to get fresh at work because I knew I was gonna bump into hoes. That was my thing. I was just like, there's too many people up here. So I was working there, you know what I'm saying? And I was just always looking nice. I would have cologne on and shit. It was a whole thing. But in any event, I wanted to go work at this place called Safeway. Safeway was a grocery store out there that paid way more. Way more. You see what I'm saying? And so I ended up going and putting in an application at Safeway. and it was regular hours too. So I was really excited about that. But I didn't want to leave Walmart until it was for sure, like until I got through the orientation. It was like, okay, you have a job. So what ended up happening was I ended up working. I ended up working from like 10 to 6 in the morning at Walmart. And then I had to be to the orientation at 7 in the morning, like 2 miles away. So I worked from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the morning, rode my bike, got there by 7, and kept falling asleep in the orientation. But this is when I was bigger, so I would be snoring like a monk. So every time I wake up, I'd be like, and then I wake up and the whole class and the teacher was looking at me. So the first day it happened, it happened a couple times. I talked to the instructor, like, what's going on? I was like, I'm sorry, I got another job, da 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 da. They're like, okay, but we can't have this happening. Long story short, it happened another 2 to 3 days because I started on a Wednesday and it was only a 3-day orientation. I was supposed to start Monday. And I got to that Friday because all I needed to do was make it to that Friday and I was going to be cool. And I think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was going to be cool and then I could start Safeway on the Monday. And so she came to me and I kept falling asleep. She's like, yeah, it was on lunch too. Everybody else went to lunch. She's like, Anthony, can I speak with you? I'm like, oh, I'm thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm cool because now I can make it through the rest of this day. Da da da. They're like, yeah, we loved you in the interview, but with the sleeping and just it's kind of been, a distraction. So we just kind of think it's best at this point that we just take you off the schedule. I'm sitting here like, okay, cool. Well, when do you guys think you'll put me back on? She was like, well, I don't know if we're not gonna move forward with keeping you on the schedule. I'm like, okay, but when the bitch did everything but damn near say, nigga, you fired. So then I was just like, oh, so I got fired during a 3-day orientation. We made it through our second episode. I like this. I like the tempo. I like the pacing. We started the 21 dough challenge today. So if you are on my YouTube, go to the community page. All it is just a 21-day challenge dedicated to do 3 things for your health for 21 days straight. Mine is that I'm going to follow the meal plan from my nutritionist. She has me all set up. Number 2, drink a gallon of water every single day. And number 3, work out for 1 hour. If you would like to join the 21 dough challenge, just hop in there and tell me what your 3 goals are going to be. And we'll keep each other accountable. It ain't nothing crazy. Like, you ain't got to try to change the world. Just, they say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. I need to be drinking more water. I need to be eating more sensibly, and I need to be working out. So that's my thing. Hopefully you guys can join me, and hopefully we can be successful today. I hope that you've enjoyed the second installment of Morning Cup of Dough Morning Show. And I'm already thinking of different ideas to spice things up. I think I might try to get a guest on here tomorrow. So listen, people over at Instagram, I'm gonna need y'all all to start coming over to I Am Doughboy TV on YouTube because I have more, if I set it up on StreamYard, then I can get guests over here. I can't do that here. So I know we were having a lot of people over here, but I need you guys to come over there. And I think I might go live on Facebook too, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll try to make it more fun. We'll try to make it more light. Send me some fun shit. I don't want to boggle you guys down with the woes of the world. I want you guys to come here, laugh, and then go have an amazing day. I love you all. Hope you guys all have a great day. Hope you just do some things positive. Speak life into yourself. Get around the people that fuck with you, not fuck over you. You know what I'm saying? And just know that this is the day the Lord has made. You woke up. You breathing. You can hear my voice. So you can make a difference today. I'm just talking filler because now I just need 1 minute and 17 seconds more to get there. We're going to go ahead and cut you guys off over here. Instagram. Come over to I Am Doughboy TV. Watch it over there tomorrow. I think I'm going to go live for the next couple of days, and then Monday it's going to be all over here. Okay? Love you guys, Instagram. Bye. Okay. All right, that was we got about 2,700 people over there total. And to my YouTube fam, I appreciate y'all. Like the video, share the video. We're on our way to 25,000 subscribers. I'm super excited to every last one of you for rocking with me and the content. I hope you guys all have a good day. I hope it's filled with nothing but blessings. I hope you eat good. I hope you drink good water. Hope you get some workouts in. I hope whatever you're doing in your life, it works out for you, and that this day feels better than the last one, and it preps you for the next one. All right, 18 more seconds, and we out of here. You crazy kids, go ahead. Hold on one second. All right, you guys. I love you all. Donation out. Peace.